So hi guys, I'm Jake, and we're going to see why Tim Lincecum declined so much in his career. Now Tim Lincecum was always a beast pretty much. After being drafted like twice before in the 40-something round, Lincecum finally got drafted at a respectable pick. And he got drafted in the first round, 10th overall by the Giants out of the University of Washington. And in the minors, Tim Lincecum was absolutely insane. In 13 career starts in the minors at the time and just a little over 60 innings, Lincecum only gave up 7 earned runs. And in 5 starts in AAA in 2007, Lincecum only gave up 1 earned run. And after being a college pitcher, he was dominant in the minors. At the young age of 23, Lincecum was called up to the MLB. And he didn't disappoint in his rookie year, and he had fine numbers for being a rookie. Lincecum would go 7-5 with a 4 ERA with 150 strikeouts in only 146 innings. And even though these aren't elite numbers, these are very good numbers for a rookie. And as a top prospect, this is very encouraging for your team if you want them to actually succeed. And from 2008 to 2009, Tim Lincecum was the best pitcher in the MLB. Lincecum's ERA would be in the mid-2s and have over 260 strikeouts in both seasons. He was also the Cy Young Award winner both of those years. And Lincecum was a freak of nature. He was just in the minors like 2 seasons before, and now he's the best pitcher in the MLB. And from 2010 to 2011, Lincecum wasn't the best pitcher in the MLB, but he was very elite. In those 2 years, Lincecum would have some pretty good ERAs and had a lot of strikeouts, pitching at least over 220 strikeouts in each of those seasons. Now again, he wasn't the best pitcher in the league then, but he was putting up some amazing numbers. And just out of nowhere in 2012, he regressed to an amazing level. Despite being 6th in the Cy Young voting in 2011, Lincecum did not have a good season at all in 2012. He would have a career low in losses, a career high in ERA, and a career low in strikeout rate. Even though he still struck out a lot of people that year, he just wasn't the same pitcher, and he continued this path the rest of his career. After playing 3 seasons with the Giants, he was either mediocre to bad, and then he signed with the Angels where he was just really bad and he just didn't get another opportunity with them. Lincecum wouldn't get another actual opportunity with an MLB team until 2018 with the Rangers, and he didn't make it above AAA, so he was just stuck in the minors that whole year. So at the age of 32, Lincecum played his last MLB game. So how did this happen? This is unheard of, where you go from the best pitcher in the MLB to a no-name. So now let's look into this more deeply. If you guys watch my videos, usually I have 3 reasons why someone might not be good or they just struggle at some point. But here, any sort of list I can name all revolves this one category, and it's his pitching motion. That really hurt him the most. And it's weird because his pitching motion also got him to where he was, but it also kind of helped his decline a little bit. And if you've never seen Lincecum pitch, just know that he uses a lot of movement in himself. I'll show you a slow motion clip here, but Lincecum would use a lot of hips whenever he would twist, and he would use a lot of pressure on his right leg with how far he bent back. And he uses so much muscle and so much body movement to create such a high velocity. And it seemed like as he got older, he just couldn't pitch to the level that he used to in terms of velocity. And here's a chart of his average fastball velocity every single year he was in the MLB. And look how much it declines. It's just a slow, steady line down. And this really hurts you whenever you're an MLB pitcher. And if you've never played baseball, you'd think just a couple mile-per-hour difference isn't much. But in reality, it's huge because the timing is just so much different. And it's why, in my opinion, hitting a baseball is the hardest common thing to do in sports. Because you have to prepare for so many things, You could get a 95 mile per hour fastball to you, but you could also get a 78 mile per hour curveball. And the timing is just so much different. You really have to prepare for that. And you really don't know what's coming at you. But anyway, this is a huge deal. And it seemed like as his velocity went down, hitters were timing him up better. And while these are low averages in itself, he would still reach close to 100 miles per hour at his prime. But it's just crazy how much it just declined. And a lot of that has to do with his pitching motion because he used so much force and so much movement. And this was the point where he wasn't pitching as fast because he was using so much body movement, and as he got older, his body just couldn't take it anymore. And with his ERA suddenly going up, I don't know if the hitters were just figuring him out, but I feel like they had a lot easier time doing that as his mile per hour velocity decreased. And also another thing that his violent pitching motion would do is cause him to throw a lot of wild pitches. He led the league in wild pitches 3 separate times, and he just didn't have the best control whenever he was getting up there in age. And it's amazing how he was, at the time, consistently able to hit the strike zone with that motion. But also, he had a lot of faults. I'll show you a video clip, but he kind of slips a little bit. He throws a complete wild pitch, and it's just nowhere near where he wanted to go. And it seemed like he had to throw softer just to get a little bit more control. And you can't blame him using this motion his whole life because he was so successful. Whenever you're constantly a top player on your team, He was drafted out of high school. No one's gonna teach him differently. Because in all honesty, he knows better than the coaches because he's doing so well. But it's just something where as he got older, it just didn't work anymore. And that's really the only reason why I feel Tim Lincecum just declined in production. With his violent motion, he used so much on his right leg and used so much on his hips. It seemed like his body just couldn't take it anymore and he just couldn't throw as fast as he used to. And this caused hitters to figure him out better and it just wasn't good. And Tim Lincecum had such a great career and it sucks to see how it ended. And in all honesty, he should be living great right now because he made at least $102 million, but that's also incomplete according to Baseball Reference. So he made a lot of money, so if he invested it right, saved up a lot, he's fine. And it sucks because he was a generational pitcher and a lot of people that grew up on that era just remember him at how good he was. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I know that was a short video, but it's kind of a topic I wanted to come across because it's really interesting. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time. You guys are the 92 best people on YouTube. I'll see you guys in a couple more days.